Are
The
you
Friday
okay?
night crowd at Harper's Steakhouse was loud and lively, the clinking of glasses blending with the
choking.
soft rhythm of country tunes. But in a quiet corner, Ethan Brooks sat with his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, a decorated Army veteran and now a single father. Ethan had grown used to watching the world quietly from the sidelines. Life after the service wasn't simple. He worked long shifts at the auto repair shop, raised Lily by himself, and rarely spoke unless needed. People often said he looked too stern, but Ethan knew he carried burdens that others could never see. Tonight, though, was supposed to be special. Lily had begged for a real steakhouse dinner, just like the ones she saw on TV. Even though money was tight, Ethan agreed. He wanted his little girl to have one night where everything felt perfectly normal. They were halfway through their meal when Ethan noticed something across the room. A man in his 50s, wearing a police chief's uniform, was laughing among friends. He was well known in town, Chief William Hart, a man everyone respected. But suddenly, the laughter stopped. The chief's hands shot to his throat, eyes wide, face turning bright red. He was choking. The entire restaurant froze in horror. People gasped. Some yelled for help, others fumbled for their phones, but no one moved fast enough. Ethan didn't think, he acted. "Lily, stay here," he said firmly, already rising from his seat. In just a few long strides, he reached the chief, pulled him upright, and performed the Heimlich maneuver with the calm precision of someone who had faced true emergencies before. 1, 2, 3 thrusts, and a piece of steak flew onto the floor. The whole place erupted in relieved applause, but the chief didn't cheer. He turned and stared at Ethan with something between disbelief and deep gratitude. "You," the chief began, voice trembling. "Don't talk," Ethan said simply, giving the man a steady pat on the back before returning to his table as if nothing had happened. The chief stood there, chest heaving, watching this quiet stranger sit beside his daughter like saving a life was just another part of the evening. But that wasn't the shocking part. Because, as the chief caught his breath, one of his friends leaned in and whispered something in his ear. The chief's expression changed, confusion, then realization, then shock. He looked again at Ethan, the single dad who had just saved him, and whispered softly, almost to himself, "Brooks!" Ethan froze. It had been years since anyone had spoken his name like that. The chief slowly walked over. You served in Fallujah, didn't you? You're the one who saved those 3 soldiers when—" Ethan gently cut him off. "Doesn't matter. That was long ago." But the chief wouldn't let it go. "People should know," he insisted. "You didn't just save me tonight. You've been saving lives long before this." Ethan said nothing. He only looked at Lily, who sat there beaming with pride at her father. The restaurant manager came over, insisting that Ethan's meal was on the house. The chief, still shaken, invited Ethan and Lily to dinner the next weekend. His treat. He said he wanted to tell others about this man, this veteran, who quietly kept helping people without ever asking for anything in return. Ethan didn't want recognition. He never had. But that night, as he walked out holding Lily's hand, he realized something important. Sometimes the world needs reminders that courage and kindness still exist, that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when it truly matters. Back in the car, Lily looked up at him with wide, proud eyes. "Dad," she said softly, "you're like a real-life superhero." Ethan chuckled, started the engine, and replied, "Nah, kiddo, just a dad lucky enough to help when someone needed it." But deep down, he knew that night had changed something. For him, for the chief, maybe even for everyone who had witnessed it. Because sometimes, one simple act of selflessness can ripple farther than anyone imagines. Soon, the story spread through town. The media picked it up, and before Ethan knew it, customers at the auto shop were stopping by just to shake his hand. Ethan didn't like the attention, but Lily loved it. At school, she proudly told her friends, "My dad saved the police chief's life." And for the first time in a long while, she saw her father not just as her dad, but as someone the whole town admired. Ethan realized maybe, just maybe, that wasn't such a bad thing after all. Later that week, Chief Hart showed up at the auto shop himself. "Brooks," he said, shaking Ethan's hand firmly. I can't stop thinking about that night. You didn't just save me, you reminded me what real courage looks like. I'd like you to come to the town hall next week and let us honor you properly. Ethan hesitated. I'm no hero, Chief. I just did what had to be done. The chief smiled knowingly. Funny thing about heroes, they never think they are. Ethan didn't respond.